All right, welcome back to the Artist Connection podcast. This is Matt Kesar here with my very special guest, singer-songwriter Russell Sinclair. Welcome, sir.
Hello, nice to be with you.
Nice to have you. I'm calling you all the way over to England, so we have the pond separating us today.
Yeah,
Right.
bit of a time difference.
Yeah. You know, it's a real pleasure to meet you, and this to me, as a fan of music and technology and things like the internet and how you can find new artists and new bands, and then for me, I can take it one better, and I actually get the chance to talk to people like you. But just finding someone like you online, wanting to learn more about you, finding the music that you have already out there, has just been a very exciting process for me. So this whole week has been great digging into your work.
Oh man, it was awesome to receive the message. Somebody who's found you online, who's already got an interest in this kind of thing, and is interested to talk to me. I've got all the time in the world for that. It's an amazing feeling getting somebody from that far away, who's able to contact me and say, actually, I really like what you're doing. Can we sit and have a chat about it?
Yeah,
Awesome.
definitely love it. So your new album, your latest album, your debut album, right, was released on June the 6th of this year. It's called Bought and Sold.
Yeah.
So good.
Thank you, man. Thank you very much. It was very much a labor of love. We had really great fun making it, and it took a while for it to come together. Did a bunch of EPs leading up to it, and it took a little while to get a band together that I was happy with, and everybody gelling together, and then finding the right studio and the right producer, and getting the money together.
It all takes time.
But like I say, it was great fun.
Yeah, the money part's the hard part. Having the talent, and putting in the hours, and doing the shows, and writing the songs, and then all of a sudden, you have to be able to make it and distribute it. I mean, that's a whole other job in itself.
It is, yeah, and in this day and age, in some ways, it's a little bit easier. There are more independent studios out there. There are more people who are keen to do it that have access to the equipment. Maybe back in the day, you might have had the same amount of people keen to be producers, but the equipment was far more expensive or just took up more space. But I think it's nice in a way to have done it myself, or at least in-house. I don't do things completely on my own. I get a lot of help. My father's kind of acts as my manager and does a lot of that stuff as well. So it wasn't a completely all on my shoulders thing, but it was a very nice thing to look back on it and say, we did that in-house and we can do it again. We can make album number 2 in that way, maybe a little bit bigger and a little bit better, and use some of the money made off of album number 1. But it's such a great feeling to know that a product that I'm really happy with and I get quite a lot of good feedback from happened off our own backs.
Well, it's all well deserved, and the ability to do it yourself is quite a luxury. If you think back 20 or 30 years, it would be unheard of to be able to do something like this unless you were at the top right of the game of record sales and things, to do it yourself or afford a home studio. But that's the way it is for me too with podcasts. There's so many out there. There's hundreds of thousands. All you need is a digital microphone and have something to say, and you can put this out there. But the trick is finding the audience. And then once you find the audience, how do you keep the audience when there are so many other things trying to grab your attention? So I know exactly how it is.
I think the key to success with any of these kind of things has got to be, at least in part, loving it, hasn't it? Like the passion behind it. That keeps you going, and if it keeps you going doing your thing, and making the product and or writing the material or whatever it is, then the audience will be there for it. If people like what you're doing and you can stick with it and have that passion for it, then it's less of a chore.
Oh, absolutely. I do this. This is my fun. I'm a fan of music forever. I play guitar, and getting to talk to people like you who are super talented and really good at what they do is just it's a pleasure for me. And sharing it just makes it one better. It would be enough if it was just for me to get to talk to you, but the fact that I get to share it is even cooler. So yeah, it's great.
I say it's a great thing you're doing, man, and yeah, like I said, there's the feeling of having that message drop into the the inbox or the Twitter or whatever it was. It's a great feeling. It's really nice to know that there are actually people out there that get it. That hear the stuff and think, actually quite like that, and maybe want to follow up on it a bit more and find out what I'm about. It blows my mind, because a lot of it's done blind. You pay a distributor to put your stuff up on Amazon and on iTunes and on Spotify and stuff like that, and you think, is anybody listening to it? Is anybody buying it? I don't know.
That's right.
I don't know. And they don't make it completely straightforward for you to keep on top of that sort of thing either. So kind of a lot of it's flying in the dark. Receiving messages like that and a bit of feedback here and there is just, I actually can't tell you how great it is.
Well, get used to it. I'm sure you're going to be getting a lot more.
Well, thank you very much, man. I hope so.
Let's talk about the album. Now, you told me, I think right before we started recording, you said it was about 3 years in the works, from planning and songwriting and all the things that go together to get a record like this out there. When did the initial songwriting itself start? Do you kind of do things in bits and pieces, or before that whole process started, did you already have a bunch of ideas and things committed to demos?
Well, it's kind of a little bit of both, really. I think I've been writing pretty consistently, different kinds of stuff and going through phases, but writing pretty consistently for the last sort of 10 or 11 years. And a lot of it kind of falls out of favor or falls by the wayside, or, you maybe feel you've matured a little bit from that, or whatever it is. And a lot of it was written for different bands that I've been in over the years and stuff as well. But essentially over about 3, maybe a little bit longer, but about the 3 years before, I'd been kind of adrift with what I was going to do musically. I'd kind of settled on doing something myself, solo. But I was not particularly happy with the idea of just being me and a guitar all the time. I wanted a band around me. I wanted that sound, but I had to find the right people to do it. And at the same time, I had to, worry about paying bills and all of that kind of stuff. So the album did take quite a while to get together, even though it was something I had my sights set on. And what that meant was that the 12 songs that you hear on it are probably actually a product of 50 songs written and discarded over that 3-year period. And eventually, through working with the right producer and getting everything together, slowly bubbled their way down to being those 12 tunes that you hear, or 11 tunes, I think. And that was a great process for me. It taught me a lot, but it kind of makes for a very eclectic mix on the album. I've over the last couple of years been getting really into my your blues music and a bit of country stuff as well, and it's always been a big love of mine, but I was never kind of exclusively that until recently. And I still don't like to pigeonhole myself too much, but that is the kind of music that I love. I love listening to it, love playing it, love.
Well, you can't go wrong with those two styles of music, because they're the foundation of so much other things that you can just build off of. So what I also bought,
exactly.
I picked up your Plymouth Tapes Volume 1 and 2. Those are the two that are available here in the States on Amazon. I see you have a third on your Bandcamp page. But those two are great. Those EPs are great because the first one has you doing just you and a guitar, you and an electric guitar, doing blues songs, which is great. And then you get the second one that has a little bit more of that country-ish kind of feel with an acoustic guitar. But, I mean, if you decided to go that route, just you and a guitar, I think that's great too. But I like the full band treatment that you get with the Bought and Sold record. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of my work here around Plymouth where I stay is solo. It is either a guitar and my stomp box, or me and my guitar and a harmonica player with me, and we do a lot of that kind of stuff, especially midweek. A lot of the bars and stuff don't have a huge budget to be showing out for bands, and I try and keep the band stuff more for the weekends, or we travel a bit further afield and try and get our teeth into the scene a little bit more. And like you said, I mean, I like both of those sounds as well. It's got to be said that being on stage with a bunch of like-minded musicians who are well rehearsed and we're in it together is a much better feeling than turning up at a venue on your own